In this video, guys, I'm gonna show you how to make an object that does not exist in Tinkercad. This object is not related to our project, it's not directly related to our project, but by doing it, you're going to learn how to do some things that are very important for our project. So what we're going to do is this, is a tool that is called a wrench. Every time that you're going to make a new object, something that does not exist in Tinkercad, I suggest you to try to find the simple forms that compose that object. So in this case, if you see, I'm going to divide this wrench into three different sections. The first one, if you see, what I'm doing here is like a circular movement in this part, then like a rectangle in the middle, and at the other end another circle. So basically those are the forms that I have to find here in Tinkercad. To make the beam, the rectangular prism that you have there, the simple form that I'm gonna use is this box. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stretch this box like this, and if you see, I can very quickly create that beam. Look that when I change the height, this number appeared here, number 3. That means that this prism has a height of 3 units. And this is important because since we are going to make other parts with the same height, it is important that you realize which is the height that you have used. For both ends, what we're going to use is a cylinder. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it here close to the beam, and I'm gonna make it a little bit larger. So if you see, I'm keeping the proportions. I want to make sure that it maintains a real circle here as the base of the cylinder, and I'm gonna make it shorter to the same height that I had the rectangular prism here. So if you see, it says 3, which is exactly what I need. Once I have done this, I can repeat the same process, take a cylinder, bring it here, change the height and everything. Or for a faster and easier way, you can just copy and paste that same form, and I already have 2, one for each side, and that's perfect. Now, once again, manually, I could bring it to the right place and try to put it there, but to make it more accurate and faster, I can go here with my mouse in an empty area of my working space, and I click and drag the mouse, and you will see that there is a, a red box with a dotted line that can enclose all the objects inside. And when I do that, I can select in this option that is called Align. And it is very similar to the one that you use in Word to align your paragraph to the left, to the center, or to the right. In this case, it has more options, but it works more or less the same way. If you see, when I click there, these circles appear, and when I move my mouse over each one of them, it shows me a preview of what would happen if I click there. So if I click here, it's gonna bring everything to this center, and it is not exactly what I need. Or for example, if I put it here, if you see, everything's gonna is gonna be brought to the right side. So what I need is to put it with this one. If you see, it's gonna align everything in that same axis. Now, what I want to do is I'm not going to use align anymore, so I'm going to deselect it. And since I want to move every cylinder towards the beam, I have to deselect, because remember that at this moment the 3 objects are connected. So if I move something, everything is going to move at the same time. And I just want to need, sorry, I just want to move one of the objects at a time. So I click in an empty space, and now as you can see, I can move freely each one of these forms. So super fast, I'm gonna align them again here. and I am going to make sure that each of these discs is placed in the end of the rectangle. To do that, to be moving like this so easily, what I do is that I move with the keys of my keyboard, and if I want to do it little by little, I just click the arrow. If I want to make a faster movement, I put shift, and then you see that it moves a lot faster. In this case, you want to have the rectangle inside the cylinder, but you don't want to exaggerate. You don't want to trespass the cylinder. So you want to have it inside, but not to trespass. This is a right position. So now we're gonna move on and try to make these holes. If you see, in every end of the tool, there is like a hole inside. So in Tinkercad, it is pretty easy to create those holes. What I am gonna do now is that I am gonna take here another form, which is this one, the polygon, and I'm gonna bring it to my workspace. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller, just like that. I think it is okay. And I'm gonna align this polygon to this cylinder here. I'm gonna show you what would happen if we repeated the same process that we did before. So I select the polygon, and in this case, I'm not going to do it with the rectangle. I could do that, but I just want to show you another way. You click on the polygon, you put shift on your keyboard, and you click the other form that you want to select, which is this one. And now you select both. Now, look what happens if I click here in align and I put them in the center, like this one and here. If you see, for example, here, this is what you want to have, but it moved away from the original position where I wanted the objects to be. So to prevent that to happen, look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna click the cylinder and the polygon so that they are selected together. I put align once again, but in this time, I'm not going to use these circles that I have already in black, but I'm gonna do something. Look, if I click only the cylinder, do you see that some circles very similar to the ones that you have appear but in gray? So just click in this time the cylinder, and you see that some of the circles disappear and you have new ones. Now let's align it once again. Click here, click there, and if you see, the one that is moving is the polygon, because when I clicked in the cylinder, I was telling Tinkercad, look, I like the position of my cylinder, don't move it away, just bring the other one towards here. So this is very important. Now, if you want, you can deselect the option of alignment, and you can bring this one, excuse me, I had to select only the polygon, sorry. So I have to click in an empty space, I go to the polygon, and now with this cone, I can make sure that it trespasses my cylinder like this. It is not absolutely necessary to make sure that it works like that, but it is just easier for you to understand what's going on if you do it like this. And now look what I do. I just click here where it says hole, and it creates a hole in my wrench. So now I can see through. This is exactly what I want to do. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to repeat that same process of the polygon on the other side, but I'm not going to make it exactly in the center of the cylinder, because what I need to have is an this kind of shape. Look, do you see that this one is inside the wrench and this one has one part that actually like breaks the wrench? That's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna bring another polygon, to my work, I am going to select my cylinder because those are the ones that I want to align. I go here to align. Remember that I don't want this cylinder to move, so I click on it to make sure that it won't move from there. And now I click in the center, click in the center, and that would be the repetition of the one that I had here. In this case, I'm not going to align it anymore. I want the polygon to be a little bit off the center. So I put shift and I move, oh, excuse me, the same problem that I did before. You have to click in an empty space. Now click only the polygon so that you deselect the cylinder, and now the polygon is the only one that is gonna move. And look what happens here. If you see, now it will create the hole that you need. Just make sure, guys, that when you select the polygon, you put here hole. And look at this. This is the form that you were looking for. But it doesn't quite look correct. It looks like a lot of things together, but it has no not an easy form to see. So this is the final part of what we're doing. You're going to select everything together. And now look at this option here, the one that says group. When I click there, ta-da! Look at this. You already created the form that you need. Now, if you see, I have a little mistake here because I still have a little part of the original cylinder here, and I don't want that. So I'm going to ungroup, make sure that I only select the polygon of this side. I move it a little bit away. And I repeat the process. I select everything, I group it, and that's it. I have my wrench. If I don't like this color, I can go here and I can choose two things. One, multicolor, if I want every part to have a different fill inside, or I deselect that one. In this case, that's what I want, and I just put it in gray. And look at this, guys. I already have the object that I was looking for. So if you remember, here we learned how to copy, paste, how to group, ungroup, align, and color your objects here. Another thing, remember, is that you also learned how to make holes in a form in Tinkercad. So I hope you understood and that this is going to be helpful for you to create the things of our project. Thank you, guys.